Hi, guys. I wanted to read you a little bit about reindeer today, but I wanted to read you about a kind of reindeer that doesn't fly. These are not the reindeer that live with Santa. These are different reindeer. They're kind of like regular deer, but we're going to learn what makes them special and able to live where they live. Let me share the screen. And we're going to read our nonfiction book. That means true facts and information about reindeer. So here it is, Reindeer by Rebecca Pettiford. We can see on our table of contents, we're going to learn about life in the Arctic, on the move, finding food, and then we're going to have a glossary at the end. Life in the Arctic. Reindeer live in the cold taiga and Arctic biomes. They are found in North America, Europe, and Asia. Reindeer are called caribou in North America. So we live in North America. So if we were to see these, we would call them caribou, but they are actually a type of reindeer. Now look at this map. This shows the whole world. Here we are in the United States. We're down here in Southern California. Look at the green parts. That is where reindeer live. So if you thought reindeer were only at the North Pole with Santa, there are also reindeer that live in other parts of North America, Europe, and Asia. Let's keep going. Double coats keep reindeer warm. Short hairs near the skin trap air and heat, so that helps keep them warm. Their outer hairs are hollow. These help reindeer stay warm and float in water. So hollow means that inside there's air trapped in there. It's there's nothing else. It's not solid, it's hollow. So they have both of those kind of hairs that help keep them warm living in such a cold place. Arctic air is cold. Reindeer have a special bone inside their noses. The bone helps them warm the air. So they never have to breathe cold air into their lungs because that bone in their nose is helping them. Reindeer hooves change with the seasons. Soft hooves in the summer help them walk on soft ground. But in the winter, the ground is not soft. It's very hard and it's very cold. So their hooves become hard and furry during the winter, and this keeps their feet warm. So look at some of the special adaptations that reindeer have. They have these antlers. They have the double coat we talked about with the short hairs and with the outer hairs that are hollow. And then they have hooves that harden in the winter. On the move, reindeer herds travel great distances. Now, a herd is a group of animals that stay together, live together, and travel together. Some migrate over 600 miles north each spring. They move so that they can feed, have babies, and escape insects that bite. Sometimes I'd like to escape some insects that bite too. How about you? Reindeer statistics. So here we see this is the scale for conservation. So if we have lots and lots of an animal, then we say that's in the least concern. We're not worried about those animals dying out. Then if they're near threatened, that's next. Then vulnerable, endangered, critically endangered, extinct in the wild. That means you would only find that animal in a zoo or another place that is specifically taking care of that animal, but not in the wild. And then once we don't have any left at all, they're extinct. So the reindeer conservation status is vulnerable. So they're not no concern, but they're not a big concern. Their lifespan is about 10 to 15 years. Reindeer begin to move again in the fall. They slowly move south to safe wooded forests. They feed so that they can put on fat and get ready for the Arctic winter. Reindeer are herbivores. They eat many different types of plants depending on the season. So, an herbivore eats plants, it does not eat meat. That's a carnivore or an omnivore. Reindeer mostly eat lichens during the winter. And here, that's what he's eating. Lichen is kind of like a moss. We're going to see another picture in just a minute. Lichens grow under the deep snow. Reindeer use their front hooves and their antlers to dig for this favorite food. I didn't realize reindeer use their antlers to dig. Did you know that? Here are some of the things they eat. Here's another picture of those lichens. See how it's kind of mossy? Kind of a mossy plant. And then willow leaves and blueberries. They eat grass, berries, flowers, and leaves in the summer. You can see in the summer they have a lot more options. The Arctic is a hard place to live, but reindeer have adapted to their home. And look, the first word on our glossary is adapted. That means changing over a long period of time to enable them to live there. They have antlers, which are those branched bones on the front that look like horns. Biomes are large areas with certain plants, animals, and weather. So a biome is an area where a certain type of animals will live. Coats. Now, when I said that the reindeer had a coat, you didn't think I meant they were putting on a jacket, did you? No, the coat of an animal is the hair or fur that is covering that animal. Herbivores, we talked about, those are animals that eat plants. Herds, those are the groups of reindeer that live and travel together. Hollow, we talked about those hairs that were hollow. That means they're empty in the middle. Insects, we talked about how they want to get away from certain insects, so they go different places. Insects are small animals with 6 legs and hard outer bodies. An insect's body is divided into 3 parts. We'll learn more about them when we're reading about insects. Lichens, those are the plant-like living things that grow on rocks and trees. Migrate. To migrate means that you move from one area to another, and often that's with the changing seasons. And then this word was at the very beginning, taiga. That is a wet northern forest that begins where the Arctic ends, and that's where they like to live. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've been joined by another animal with a furry white coat. She's not a reindeer, she's a dog. Abby? Okay, now guys, I want to read you another book, but before I do, I want to play a song for you. Every now and then we get to sing in library, and this is going to be one of those times. You ready? Can you hear it? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as he shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Okay, guys, I'm not going to play more of the song, but there was a reason I played that song for you. We are going to read this book, Olive, the Other Reindeer. Now, did you notice when we were singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, we said all of the other reindeer? I think this little dog might be confused by all of and olive. Let's see what happens. Olive, the other reindeer, by J. Otto Siebold and Vivian Walsh. Here we go. Olive, the other reindeer. This is read with permission of Chronicle Books. Every day, Olive took her daily dog walk, winter, spring, summer, or fall. Today was a winter's day. It was the holidays. There was music playing outdoors. People were singing along. All of the other reindeer. Olive was too shy to sing. She hummed. Back at her doghouse, Olive was wrapping presents and listening to the radio. She heard that same song again. All of the other reindeer, went the song. Olive, the other reindeer, Olive sang along. Olive, the reindeer, said Olive. I thought I was a dog. I must be a reindeer. It was the time of year when all reindeer reported to the North Pole to help Santa Claus. Olive put down her scissors carefully and marched out the door. She took one bus and then two buses. She got there just in time. Santa was checking his list for the second time. Elves were busy helping the reindeer and loading the sleigh with presents for all the good girls and boys. Everyone was getting ready to go. Olive took her place. Santa noticed that there was a little dog in the lineup. Santa knew a lot about dogs. For instance, they can't fly. But as it was time to go, he decided to give Olive a chance. Comet, the biggest reindeer, used a piece of extra ribbon to make sure Olive was tied in safe and tight. Now they were ready to go. Olive was surprised it was so easy to fly. Does it look like she's flying, or maybe she's just catching a ride? The other reindeer were very curious about the new helper. They looked at Olive so much, they weren't watching where they were going. Crash! They flew smack into the top of a too tall tree. Oh dear, said Santa. My sleigh is stuck in this tree. I'll have to cut it free. Olive clung to the side of the tree. She tried to fly up to help Santa, but she could not. She climbed up slowly and started chewing. Chewing sticks was something Olive could do well. Thank you, Olive, said Santa Claus as they got back on their way. They had not traveled far when Olive's nose began to twitch. Olive smelled trouble. It was the smell of gumdrop candies as they fell from the sleigh. Drop, drop, drop. Olive barked, and Santa knew what to do. He's catching them. He steered the reindeer down and around so that all the gumdrops fell plop, plop, plop back into the toy sack. We were very lucky not to lose a single gumdrop, thought Olive. And then she heard a strange sound. It was the musical note. Eee! Olive spun around on her string to see the night sky filled with falling flutes. Olive had to howl louder than the wind instruments. This was not music to Santa's ears. First gumdrops, now the flutes, thought Santa. That tree must have torn a hole in my sled. Prepare for emergency landing, Santa instructed. The sleigh landed in a snowy field full of flutes. Luckily, Olive was very good at fetching sticks. It was something a dog loves to do. Before Santa had finished patching the hole in the sleigh, Olive had returned each and every flute back to the sack. Ho, 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 said Santa. We're ready to go. They were running late But after a while, all the good children received their presents, and Santa and his team returned home. They were almost home when they got caught in the dreaded North Pole fog. The reindeer slowed down until it was only a breeze that moved them along. The fog was as thick as a pillow. It made everyone feel sleepy. Then Santa remembered something about dogs. They are expert smellers. Olive, I'd hate to be late for breakfast this year, he said. Mrs. Claus has planned a parade of cookies. You can almost smell them, can't you? Olive could smell the cookies. Olive, won't you guide my sleigh this morning? Said Santa. Olive moved to the front of the reindeer. Thanks to Olive's nose and Mrs. Claus's baking, they made it all the way back to the North Pole. All of the elves sang out a cheer. Hooray! Hooray! Santa and the reindeer and the little doggy are back. Back at the North Pole, it was a glorious morning. After eating lots of good food, it was time to open presents. The reindeer got jump ropes and the elves got toy trains. Santa reached into his toy sack. There was just one present left. It was for Olive. It was her very own set of reindeer antlers. They fit perfectly. Then everyone went outside to play reindeer games. I hope you guys enjoyed this story about a very different sort of reindeer. Olive, the other reindeer. I hope you guys have a great holiday break. Now, remember, what is it you need to do a little bit every day? Reading. Practice your alphabet, or read with somebody else in your family, or read to someone else in your family, or just read to yourself. If you practice a little bit every day, your teacher is going to be so impressed when you get back in January. And I will be too. Thanks, guys. And I hope you have a great holiday season. I can't wait to see you in 2021. See you then. Bye.